Hello everyone. It's been a while. Um, as you guys can tell by the title, I wanted to start something new on my YouTube. Brand new, fresh start. What I wanted to do was this thing called Sponge Talks, and it's something that I plan to do like maybe like weekly, but like upload maybe 2 to 3 videos every week. Which is like what I'm trying to do. Sometimes I may not reach it just because I might not have any ideas of what to talk about. But as you guys could tell by the title, we will be talking about Chicago Bulls. But before I wanted to talk about that, I wanted to talk about the subscribers that subscribe to my old montages and all that. You know, I'll probably stop posting montages, but I'll continue to do gaming content. Maybe rarely, but right now this is what specifically I'm focused on. So if you guys don't like this content, go ahead, feel free to unsubscribe. But what I wanted to talk about today was the Chicago Bulls and the future of the Chicago Bulls, aka next season and the next maybe 2 to 3 seasons. What I wanted to talk about was Zach Levine first. I wanted to talk about Zach Levine first and how this kind of started, like, I guess, the drama slash downfall. So, um, Zach Levine, he basically wanted out of Chicago. I think like early in like the season. Like I think the first 2 to 3 months he wanted early, or he wanted out of Chicago. The reason he wanted out of Chicago was because the Chicago Bulls were a hard stuck playing team. Um, they would usually win their first playing game, but when it came to the second one, they would lose. Last season they won against the Raptors, but the second playing game they went against the Miami Heat. They lost. And this season, they won against Atlanta, which is surprising because Atlanta is always the play-in winners. But the Chicago Bulls beat them. And then once again, they had to go against Miami. But Miami unfortunately beat them again for the past 2 years, or a year or two in a row. And they like whooped Chicago Bulls. I think it was between like 15, 20 differential. But yeah, it started with Zach Levine wanting out of Chicago at of the very early start of the season. Um, Zach Levine didn't want to be a part of the Chicago Bulls no more. But he kept denying it. He kept saying, "I never said that." I'm still down to play for the Bulls and all that. But deep down, that kind of hurt Chicago fans. And what's it called? I guess the connection between Chicago fans, the Bulls like managers and all that. It kind of started dying down. And during this off season, NBA Finals already finished. Celtics won. I think it was 4-1. Yeah. And right now, the Bulls have been desperately trying to get Zach Levine off of them. Um, the whole season they've been trying to get him off the team. And recently, what came out was that they were actually offering players Zach Levine and a couple of first round picks, but everyone declined. No one has been wanting Zach Levine, which is kind of surprising. Zach, he's a good player. I only watched him like 2 years, and he was actually a really decent player. I remember last year and last season, he like helped a lot against the Raptors in the play-in, and this season, he was out for literally majority of the season. He During the beginning of the season, he played, but then he got injured, was out for a couple weeks. Then he played again, but then he got injured, and I think he had to get surgery, and that caused him to be like, I guess, remaining out or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but he was out because of the surgery. And it's kind of surprising then no one's been wanting Zach Levine because the Bulls are seeming so desperate um into trying to get like him on another team because all like they're offering every single team, I think Sacramento was interested, but not anymore. And yeah, I guess you could say it basically started off with Zach. And the next person I want to talk about is DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, he is, in my opinion, my favorite player out of the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan said he was going to re-sign with the Bulls, but um, ever since the Alex Caruso, Josh Giddey trade happened, that started like he started saying, "No, I kind of don't want to deal with this anymore." You got to think about this too. DeMar DeRozan is old. Like usually like players retire like 36, 37, and I think he's in his 30s. I don't know what specific age he is, but he is in his 30s. And what I found out was that the Alex Caruso and Josh Giddey trade was his final straw, and he no longer wanted to play with the Bulls. So teams that have been interested was the Lakers. I think the Lakers and Bulls are discussing right now about a sign-in trade, something like that. Um, I hope we don't get D'Lo. I'm sorry, D'Lo, but you're just on and off. We don't want you, respectfully. Um, and yeah, that was DeMar DeRozan's last final shot. It kind of sucks too because, in my opinion, I'm gonna start calling him Debo because that's what I call him. Debo was like, he was nice, man. Like he carried the Bulls. Like he was like a veteran we need because almost in every like team you need a veteran, and he was that veteran we needed. But yeah, it kind of sucks that we have to let him go. I also heard like some rumors saying that he might sign just one more year and that's it. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's all I want to talk about DeMar DeRozan. Um, Next person I want to talk about is Matas. I don't know how to say his last name, but the new draft prospect we got. A lot of people have been happy about this draft pick because a lot of people say it's been a steal that we got. Matas was supposed to be a number six between a number six and up draft pick, but he fortunately, I'm saying fortunately because it was a good thing for us. He fortunately fell down all the way to number 11, which is nice. Um, and in my opinion, I think he will be a good starter because what I also wanted to talk about is that the Bulls are trying to move Vooch out. Vooch, also known as Nikola Vucevic, they are trying to move him out. Um, Not gonna lie with you guys, I'm a fan of Vooch, but at the same time, I'm not. He's kind of lazy on defense, but I like his offense. Um, Compared to Andre Drummond, Vooch can sometimes shoot the ball. He's not a good shooter, but whenever I see him and those clutch moments, I see him. He always manages to make the three ball go in. And I think Matas will be a good replacement. I don't think he's big enough for the center position. I think he might need to bulk up a little more. Um, but yeah, you know, Bulls are trying to move Vooch to maybe get. I don't know, to be honest. I don't really know too much about Vooch. All I know is that I'm a meh fan about him. His offense is good. His defense lacks. And another person I want to talk about was Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith is someone that we signed for 3 years. Jalen Smith was a bench player, but he did get some time off the Indiana Pacers. He is an Indiana Pacers player. Um, he played 10 minutes, maybe no, between 10, 17 minutes, and he would actually drop like decent amount of points, decent amount of rebounds, which is actually what I'm excited for. I think Jalen Smith can play the center, and Mates could play forward or wing. I'm tripping, my bad. I meant to say wing. I don't know why I said forward, but he could play the wing. And I think that would be a nice, start for the young Bulls because right now we are moving off the old players and we are starting brand new. We are actually rebuilding this time, and we are rebuilding with young players. And another young player that I want to talk about was Patrick Williams. As you guys could tell, we re-signed Patrick Williams. I think 5 years and $90 million, and I think that was actually nice. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, why did we re-sign Patrick Williams? Why didn't we just like give him up?" I know. Some of you guys are thinking that because it's his fourth year. He still hasn't like glowed up. He still hasn't like risen up. But slow and steady, sometimes does win the race. And I think that's the thing with Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams, dealing a lot of, he's been doing dealing a lot with injuries, and I think maybe because we still haven't heard about his availability. I can't even say the word availability next year. So we are kind of a little suspicious of him. Will he actually rise up and prove that that 5 year $1 million or $90 million contract was worth it for him? Um, and the next player, which in my opinion was also one of my favorite players, was Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond was the backup center for Vooch, and in my opinion, he played better than Vooch most of the times, except for the shooting, of course. Drummond would get a lot of rebounds, a lot of blocks. Like one time, he had, sorry guys, he had a double double, but he had 20 points, 20 rebounds, which is crazy. And in my opinion, we just need to give him more time. He does get into foul trouble and all that, but I think we should have kept him, or I think we should have like at least given him more playing time. But obviously he didn't want to stay in Chicago anymore. Understandable. He said he wanted to win, which is perfectly understandable. You are like still good. You are. I don't know how old Andre Drummond is, but in my opinion, I think he's still young. Um, getting there to that old age, but still valuable, super valuable. And he actually went back to the Philadelphia 76ers, which I will talk about another video. I want to talk about trades, free agency, and all that. But yeah, next person I want to talk about is Adam um, Sangu. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the names. I wrote the names in my notebook right here, but I can't even read my own handwriting. Adam was a rookie. A rookie we got. I don't know when, but we actually ended up getting him. I think a couple years ago. But out of the final games of the season the Bulls played, Adam was actually pretty good. He was nice as hell. He was very dominant. He would grab rebounds, and in my opinion, I don't think we should have um, made him a free agent. I think he's a restricted free agent, but I think we should have signed him because if we're going towards a young Bulls team, then we obviously needed him. He was very good off the bench. Um, I think he sometimes did play during the regular season, not during the final games of the season. I think he sometimes did, but he actually did pretty good. I don't remember his shooting skills, but his rebounds, defense was honestly nice for a rookie. Um, and it's kind of sad to see him go because, in my opinion, I think he will like actually end up like glowing after he leaves. Chicago Bulls are known for holding people back from their like potential. Look at Laurie Marketing. He's like all-star center. I think he plays center. Don't know too much about him. Derrick Jones Jr. Last year we had him. Now this year he went to the NBA Finals, and yeah, hopefully Adam, just Adama. I'm so sorry, Adama. Has a better season with a better team that actually likes to show off his skill. Gives him an opportunity. But yeah, next player I want to talk about is Vucevic. I know I talked about him before, but Vuce, in my opinion, he just he's kind of like lazy on defense, which um I am a big fan of. I am a big fan of defense, and I think good defense helps stop um us from losing. And Vooch, he would have his on and off days, but most of the time I would see him. He kind of just was too lazy on defense. He would just watch them, score easy layup, score a easy dunk that could have been blocked. And you gotta, like put yourselves in that shoes. Some players just don't want to get dunked on and posterized. That's that's understandable. But in my opinion, he's just lazy on defense. He's a good 3-point shooter compared to Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond, of course, can't shoot the ball. I think he shot. I don't know, but sometimes when I would watch him play, and he would have free throws, he would usually only get 50% of the free throws. He would miss the first one, make the second one, or either make the first one and miss the second one. Rarely, he would actually make both of them. But yeah, compared to shooting, I would give it to Vooch over Drummond. But defense, I would give it to Drummond over Vooch. Rebounds, Drummond over Vooch. And now I want to talk about the future of the Bulls. Future of the Bulls. Next season. In my opinion, I think we're going to be somewhere around ninth, maybe eighth spot. Um, I don't think we're gonna do like terrible, terrible, like to the point where like bottom. I think we will actually do pretty good with our young core, young Bulls. As you see, Kobe White came out of like a outbreak season, last season, or I guess you could say this season. I don't know. But last season, he actually had a nice breakout. He was nominated as Most Improved Player, which I think he should have won over Tyrese Maxey. Because Tyrese Maxey had that, opportunity. He's always had that time. But Kobe White was a bench player, like I think his beginning of the career, and people wanted to trade him too. I heard, and this season, like now that Zach LaVine got injured, Kobe White took the place for Zach LaVine, and Kobe White actually popped off like crazy. I don't know if you guys seen the Atlanta versus the Bulls, the play-in match. Kobe White, I think he got 43 points, but that was his career high points, which kind of sucks because it didn't count for him like officially, but in my eyes, I think it counts for him officially because they were in the play-in and it didn't count. But you got Kobe White, you got Patrick Williams. We're probably gonna be seeing even more of Dalen Terry. Um, who else do we got? Matas. He's gonna join too. He's gonna be pretty good. I think he'd be good defensively and offensively. More on the offensive side. We always needed a big because we are undersized. We have, I don't know if you guys know Javante Green. Javante Green, he would play the forward. And I'm not gonna lie, Javante was too small for that. Javante is, I think, 6'4", 6'5". He is way too short to be playing the forward. And yeah, that's why we had undersized guards playing forward. Um, you know, um, basically, my prediction next year is we will make it to the play-in. We'll make it to the play-in, but depending if we go against Atlanta again. If we go against Atlanta, I think we could actually win. But depending on, the second placement or the second game of the play-in, because I told you guys, right? I think the Bulls are gonna be like maybe ninth or 10, next year. Depending on the second match, say we go against Scotty Barnes and his Raptors. Um, that would be a very tough game. All the games we played against the Raptors, we've won, except I think our recent one we lost actually, which is honestly surprising. I remember I slept through that game because I was tired as hell. I just came from practice, and I told my dad, "Hey, look, you know, there's no point in watching this game really because the Bulls already won. The Bulls have been beating the Raptors for the past like I think 4 or 5 games, and depending on if we get more players, because um, off season just started, free agency just started like 3 days ago. I think we would actually do pretty good on the play-in. Now, as it comes to playoffs, I don't think we are prepared for the playoffs. I think we might get swept, especially with this, especially if we're coming off, eighth seed always goes against the first seed, or no, I'm tripping. Sorry, guys. Um, the play-in winner always goes against the number one seed, I think. And I'm pretty sure number one seed is going to be Celtics again. And if that actually does happen, we manage to make it to the playoffs. We are getting swept by the Celtics. It's just the hard truth. You know, um, but if we actually do make it to the playoffs, you know, it'll be fine. Like as you can see, like those young bulls have potential, and that potential can get even better. It's just their first season. They will get better, 100%. They will get better. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. Um, Thank you guys for watching the first episode of Sponge Talks. I don't know when I will be uploading the next Sponge Talks. It'll just be random, but maybe for this week, because it is a Wednesday, maybe I'll upload one more video of Sponge Talks for this week. So for this week, you guys will get two Sponge Talks videos. Next video, I want to talk about free agency and trades, and all those trades that have happened these past few days. But either way, guys, thank you guys for actually listening and watching my video. I know the gameplay was like not good. I can't. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I can't even concentrate on two things at once. I can't multitask. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching the first episode of Sponge Talks, and I really appreciate you guys watching like the full video. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a good night, depending on when you're watching this. And I will see you guys later.